Pahali huyu rais ametufikisha sasa, it is too much. Rais, ulipigana na mimi Rigathi Gachagua, mimi ni mwanaume. Wachana na Martha Koome, ni mwanamke. Bono unapigana na wanawake. Can you fight your fellow men? Si ndio? Apigana na wanaume? Awachana na huyu mama. Na huyu mama anafukuzwa kwa sababu amekataa kuua mtu ya Yesa. Si ndio? Mtasimama na Martha Koome? Mtasimama na yeye? Huyu mama akifukuzwa, nipige filimbi mtoke kwa barabara. Mtatoka hamtatoka? Mtatoka hamtatoka? Nimukaumira? Yes, we are not going to sit again as William Ruto destroy the leadership of the Mount Kenya Legion.
We have 2.5 years. We have roads, we have electricity, we have water, we have markets, we have KIPES, we have all these programs. But there are people trying to say, please, we don't need anything, we are waiting for another government. I want to urge you not to fall into the tricks of evil-minded politicians. An evil-minded politician is the one who wants to spoil for mwananchi if they realize they are not benefiting individually. Today, even if I was not Deputy President of Kenya, I would support the development of Kenya and the development of this region, even if I was not Deputy President. Because that is the right thing to do, isn't it? Kuna watu wanasema ati if I am not a mheshimiwa, wacha tuharibu hii maneno wananchi wasipate kitu. That is evil, it is unpatriotic, it is reckless, because if our people can get benefits from this government which they voted for, that will be the happiest thing. If our people miss out just because of stupid politics, incitement, you've seen even areas where the support of this government was not even much. But they have put down their pride. They are working with the president. And there are things...
Bunge, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bunge Audio Visual, where we dissect the biggest political events shaping Kenya today. And if you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more thought-provoking content. And without further ado, let's jump straight into today's heated political showdown. So you watched the video of the current deputy president, that is Kithure Kindiki, and you've also watched the video of former president, that is Rigathi Gachagua. So we're going to talk about the Mount Kenya battle that is actually heating up, or rather it's rather boiling. So the video you've just watched featured the deputy president Kithure Kindiki addressing the growing political tensions in Mount Kenya. But what's the story? What's the real story behind his remarks, that the kind of remarks that Kithure Kindiki made? Well, for me, I'll say it all revolves around former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who has now emerged as a major political force after his impeachment, and now the battle lines have actually been drawn. So, talking about the second segment of Kithure Kindiki warning Mount Kenya residents, you've seen Deputy President, that is Kithure Kindiki, issued a very stern warning to Mount Kenya residents, and what we were able to hear Kithure Kindiki telling the Mount Kenya resident was that, and I quote, "Don't be swayed by Gachagua's narrative." And according to Kindiki, Gachagua holds a deep grudge against President Ruto following his removal from office, and is now using propaganda to tarnish the president's image ahead of the 2027 elections. So you've seen the video of Kindiki, and for me, I'll simply say that Kindiki is actually also trying to play politics so as to defend the president's regime, or rather the president's team. And he's actually being used as a shield to ensure that the president's name isn't really tarnished, because the former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua, for now, most of the people are actually have actually moved to his side, because after his fallout, so far we've been able to see his reputation grow as the days have been unfolding. and this is a very, very great threat to the current government that he formerly served. And most likely, this whole regime might find itself home if they don't actually do what you call damage control. So what I can say is that apparently former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua, after following his impeachment, he's been using all sorts of means to ensure that he cuts the wings of the current president, that is President William Samoei Ruto. And luckily, the funny thing about these strategic moves that Rigathi Gachagua is doing is that in most cases, most of the strategies that are being implemented by him and his team are actually working, because you've seen so many things happen since his impeachment. So let's talk about Kindiki's message. The question is, Kindiki, okay, for Kindiki, he actually said that Gachagua is only out for revenge and not the interest of the people, because however much Kindiki and the president are trying to hold various kinds of rallies or other political of rallies to ensure that they actually secure the same position in 2027, however much they try to do so, in most cases they actually turn out to be very, very ugly, or rather the situation turns out very, very counterintuitive, because you've seen the president hold a rally back recently at Roysambu. There's been so many issues of demonstrations because of the youths were very, very angry of how the taxpayers' money was being used was being issued as a donation to Jesus Winner Ministry, and so it ended up very, 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 very. What should I call it? It ended up becoming a very, very messy or rather ugly scene. Then after that, we've been seeing the president. Yesterday, he was at Kibra, he was at Makadara, he was at industrial area, and all the same rallies that he used to hold in the various venues actually turned out very, very ugly. And this isn't a very impressive show. And let's also talk about Gachagua's popularity after talking about the dark sides of the kind of campaigns that, or rather the rallies that Kithure Kindiki and President Ruto are actually trying to conduct at the moment to ensure that they actually rebuild their reputation. So, talking about Gachagua's rising popularity, there are so many things that have been happening, and this is where the things actually get interesting, because Gachagua's impeachment has actually worked in his favor than most people expected. With Raila Odinga, an expected alliance with Ruto through the recently signed MOU, that is the Memorandum of Understanding, many opposition supporters really felt that they were betrayed. And as a result, Gachagua has gained massive traction as the new face of the opposition, overshadowing even Raila Odinga himself has actually emerged. And the question of the day remains, could we be witnessing the rise of a new opposition kingpin, or is this just politics and something unexpected might arise in the near future? Then, talking about the video of Gachagua hitting back at Ruto in the kind of statements that he's been making since the time he was impeached, we've seen that in a fiery speech, Gachagua took direct shots at Ruto, warning him not to interfere with the Chief Justice Martha Koome's position for his own political gain. And he also accused Ruto of using intimidation tactics to influence the 2027 elections, and claimed Mount Kenya voters won't support him this time round. And Gachagua's message to Ruto directly was, fighting a woman like Martha Koome for political reasons is not true leadership. And betraying me was wrong enough, and you shouldn't make you shouldn't make any further step by going after others who have actually remained in their respective positions. And that also the third thing that Gachagua had to point out was President Ruto is supposed to be focusing on serving Kenyans and not on playing petty politics. Yeah, I think Gachagua really came out with a very, very valid point. Hapo kwa focus on serving Kenyans and not playing petty politics, I think it's something that Gachagua actually came out with stronger, and made most of the people inclined towards his side, because they felt that there was the kind of reason that he was actually making as a former DP were making so much sense and they were not made out of anger or any sort of grudge or any sort of beef between him and the current president, that is William Ruto. So, talking about the political impact, or rather some of the implications of what's going on, what does all this mean for the 2027 elections? Number one, it means that Gachagua at the moment is solidifying his position as Ruto's biggest political rival. Now that the former opposition leader, that is Raila Odinga, has signed a memorandum of understanding with the party leader, the ruling party leader, that is UDA, that is William Ruto of UDA, and him being the opposition leader of the Orange Democratic Movement, has actually made so many people gravitate towards Gachagua, the truthful man. Then number two, Mount Kenya's loyalty is now a major battleground, because most of the votes that actually made William Samoei Ruto seize or rather win the former elections that was in 2022 were from Mount Kenya. And now that the loyalty of Mount Kenya is actually moving to a downward spiral for William Ruto, it means that it's going to take so much. It's going to take a lot. It won't only take the MP's loyalty to Ruto for him to be able to garner the votes, the 5 million votes, or rather the 3 million votes that will help him to secure his presidential elections, or rather his presidential position in 2027, the coming elections in 2027. It means that Ruto will have to go an extra mile for him to be able to retain the political position he's serving at the moment. Then number three, the opposition dynamics are shifting, and with the Raila losing his credibility, it means that many other unknown political leaders are actually gaining momentum and are actually rising since he has been able to join the government. It means that most of the people have lost trust in him, and they're actually going to look for better alternatives instead of banking on somebody who doesn't really fight for what the Kenyans want. So, well, I'll say that's it for today. But before we come towards the end of this particular show, my question is, what do you think? Is Gachagua the real opposition leader now, and will Ruto survive this political storm in 2027, or do you think they're actually going to gang up and Kenyans are going to lose at the end of the day? So let me get your comments let me get to your opinions at the comment section below, and let's keep the conversation going. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to Bunge Audio Visual for more political deep dives. And until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay peaceful wherever you are. That's it for today. Stay tuned for more updates.